It's 9 p.m. on a Sunday. The house is silent, but your mind is not. You're standing in the doorway of the spare bedroom, the one that used to be your son's. Now, it's a museum of good intentions. Boxes of photos you meant to sort, bags of clothes you were going to donate, a stack of books from a hobby you started and abandoned 3 years ago. Every object is a decision you postponed. The weight of it feels physical, pressing down on the air in the room. You can't even close the closet door all the way. It's easier to just pull the bedroom door shut, turn off the light, and tell yourself the same familiar lie. I'll deal with it tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes next week, and the quiet pressure builds. This isn't just clutter. It's the physical evidence of a life on pause, and the energy it takes to ignore it is becoming more than you can spare. That feeling follows you to bed. You wake up at 3 a.m., not from a noise, but from a sense of unease. Your bedroom, which should be a sanctuary, feels unsettled. The chair in the corner piled with clothes, the nightstand cluttered with old magazines. It's all part of the same low-grade hum of chaos. This is the real cost of clutter, the one nobody talks about. It's not the mess. It's the slow erosion of your peace, the constant drain on your mental energy that you mistake for just getting older. And beneath that fatigue is a deeper, colder fear. The fear that if you don't reclaim this space now, while you have the strength and clarity, the decisions will eventually be made for you. Your children, with their loving but hurried hands, will one day see this home not as a legacy, but as a project. And that will be the moment your independence truly begins to slip away. That closet door that won't quite shut is more than a minor annoyance. It's a gatekeeper to a room full of ghosts. Not the scary kind, but the quiet, persistent ones. There's the ghost of your mother in the box of china you never use, but can't part with, because throwing it out feels like throwing her out. There's the ghost of a younger you in the half-finished knitting projects, a reminder of a person with more time and ambition. Each object is tangled up with a person, a promise, or a past version of yourself, and the thought of untangling it feels like a betrayal. The guilt is the glue that holds the clutter together. To let go of the item is to admit that a chapter is over, that a person is truly gone, or that a dream won't be realized. It's easier to keep the box. It's easier to let the guilt win, to close the door, and to pretend the weight of all those memories isn't slowly, silently crushing the present. This paralysis is compounded by a fierce, private pride. The thought of asking your children for help flashes through your mind, but you dismiss it almost instantly. You can already picture it, their loving but efficient hands sorting through your life. You can hear their gentle, logical questions that feel more like judgments. Mom, do you really need this? What they see as a practical problem, you experience as a loss of authority in your own home. Asking for help feels like the first step on a path you've seen others walk, the path toward becoming a project for your children to manage. It's an admission of defeat, a signal that you can no longer handle your own affairs. So you remain silent. The sheer scale of the task becomes an isolating secret. The clutter is no longer just a physical barrier. It's an emotional fortress you've built to protect your independence. Without realizing, it has also become your prison. Ultimately, you begin to understand the deepest truth of it all. Your home has become a perfect physical reflection of your mind. The crowded countertops mirror the mental noise that keeps you from thinking clearly. The stacks of old mail are the postponed decisions that drain your energy every single day. The path from the bed to the door, cluttered with small obstacles, is the same path your mind takes when trying to imagine the future, unclear, full of things to trip over, and exhausting to navigate. This is why you feel so tired. It's not just your age. It's the constant, low-grade cognitive load of living in a space that represents stagnation. You realize that clearing a room isn't just about creating physical space. It's about creating mental space. It's about quieting the noise. It's about giving your future a clear, open place to land. The battle isn't with the stuff. It's with the state of mind the stuff has created. This resolve feels different from all the failed attempts that came before. It isn't a fleeting burst of motivation to just get it done, a path that has only ever led back to this same state of overwhelm. You understand now that the problem was never a lack of effort, but a lack of a proper system. You don't need more willpower. You need a smarter strategy. A method that doesn't ask you to confront a lifetime of memories in a single weekend, but instead provides a framework for making one clear, manageable decision at a time. This is the crucial mental shift. You stop seeing this as a dreaded chore and start seeing it for what it truly is, the most powerful, proactive act of self-preservation you can take. It's about taking deliberate control. The path forward is no longer an insurmountable mountain, but a series of 5 strategic habits, a clear, repeatable system designed not just to clear a space, but to protect your independence and build the foundation for your next chapter. The first strategic habit is not a technique for sorting objects. It is a rule for managing time. It's called the early intervention rule, and it is the foundation upon which your future independence is built. The rule is simple. You must act now, while you possess the peak of your personal agency, your physical strength, your mental clarity, and your emotional resolve. We often tell ourselves we have plenty of time, but these resources are not infinite. They are a savings account from which we draw daily. Ignoring this rule means you are spending down that account without a plan, assuming it will be there for you tomorrow. The consequence is a silent, creeping deadline. One day, a health scare or a simple loss of stamina will make this task 10 times harder, or worse, impossible. And at that point, the decisions will no longer be yours to make. Applying this rule today is a profound declaration. It is the decision to be the author of your own next chapter, not a character in a story someone else is forced to write for you. It is the ultimate act of proactive self-preservation. With the when firmly established, we can now address the where. The single greatest enemy of progress is the feeling of being overwhelmed. You stand in the doorway, look at the scale of the entire house, and your mind shuts down. This is why the second habit is the room-by-room authority method. This is your strategy to combat overwhelm and reclaim control. You will choose one room, just one. It could be the smallest bathroom or the spare bedroom that causes you the most stress. For the next 2 weeks, this room is your entire world. You grant yourself permission to completely ignore the clutter in the rest of the house. You are not decluttering your home. You are liberating a single territory. The cost of ignoring this method is the vicious cycle you already know. You start with a burst of energy, try to do too much at once, burn out, and quit, reinforcing the false belief that the job is too big. But by establishing single-room authority, you guarantee a victory. You create an island of calm, a sanctuary that serves as undeniable proof that you are capable and in control. The silence in the house is different now. It's not the heavy, oppressive silence of rooms holding their breath, but a light, clean quiet that feels like peace. As you walk from the bedroom to the kitchen in the morning, your path is clear. The countertops are open, reflecting the morning light. You didn't lose a single essential memory. Instead, you found them. Your husband's favorite photo is no longer buried in a box. It sits on a clear mantle, a focal point of love, not a relic of loss. You realize with a startling clarity that you haven't been erasing your past. You've been honoring it. The weight you felt wasn't the weight of the memories themselves, but the weight of the chaos that was hiding them. You feel a profound sense of lightness in your own body, a physical unburdening that mirrors the space around you. This is control. Not a rigid, demanding control, but a gentle, steady command over your own environment and by extension, your own peace of mind. This feeling solidifies into a new identity. You are no longer the weary custodian of a lifetime's accumulation. You are the deliberate architect of your next chapter. The spare bedroom, once a monument to postponed decisions, is now a blank canvas. It holds the quiet, thrilling hum of potential, a space for yoga, for painting, for the grandchildren to stay without navigating an obstacle course. You look at your own hands, the same hands that felt powerless just weeks ago, and you see strength. You did this. You took proactive, decisive action, not because you were forced to, but because you chose to protect your future. This home is no longer a final chapter filled with relics. It is the launch pad for a future you are designing on your own terms. The fear of becoming a project for your children has been replaced by the quiet pride of a woman who is and will remain the author of her own story. The 5 strategic habits you adopted are no longer a temporary project. They have become the new, quiet architecture of your daily life. The one decision system is now second nature. Mail is opened and processed by the door. New purchases are considered with the legacy filter before they even enter your home. And the habit of clearing surfaces before bed has become as automatic as brushing your teeth. This isn't about maintaining a sterile, perfect environment. It is about maintaining a peaceful mind. You've discovered that an organized space is not the goal, but the outcome of a deeper commitment. The refusal to let postponed decisions accumulate and drain your mental energy. This effortless maintenance is the dividend paid on your initial investment. It's the feeling of waking up each morning with a clean slate, both in your home and in your head, a subtle but profound state of constant readiness for the day ahead. This is the quiet power of living proactively, not reactively. Your home has undergone a fundamental shift in its very purpose. It is no longer a dense museum of the past, filled with relics and obligations that demand your energy. It has been transformed into a functional, light-filled launch pad for your future. The spare bedroom, once a source of silent stress, is now a bright, airy space where you unroll your yoga mat each morning. The kitchen countertops are clear, inviting you to try a new recipe without first having to excavate a workspace. This is the tangible result of your decisions. You walk through your home not with a sense of weight, but with a feeling of possibility. Every clear surface, every organized closet is a quiet affirmation that this space now serves you, the person you are today and the person you want to become tomorrow. You have consciously designed an environment that supports your well-being, creativity, and peace, proving that your home can be the greatest tool for living a vibrant, forward-looking life. This transformation culminates in the final, most rewarding habit, the sleep reset environment shift. This was the promise we made at the beginning, and its power lies in its simplicity. Your bedroom has been meticulously edited to become a true sanctuary, dedicated to a single purpose: rest. The chair in the corner is empty. The nightstand holds only a lamp, a book, and a glass of water. There are no reminders of undone tasks, no piles of clothes, no administrative clutter to catch your eye and activate your mind. When you enter this room at night, your brain receives a single, powerful signal. It is time to let go. The direct result, as you now know, is a profound improvement in the quality of your sleep. You fall asleep faster and wake less often because your subconscious is not wrestling with the low-grade chaos of your environment. This deep, restorative rest is the ultimate reward, fueling your days with clarity and energy, and fortifying the very independence you fought so hard to protect. You notice the change most profoundly when your children visit. The subtle tension you used to feel, the unspoken worry in their eyes as they surveyed the clutter, is gone. In its place is a visible sense of relief and genuine admiration. Their conversations are no longer laced with gentle offers to help you get organized, which always felt like the beginning of a takeover. Instead, they ask about your yoga class or the new book you're reading. By taking control of your environment, you have fundamentally reframed their perception of you. You are not a parent who needs managing. You are a capable, decisive individual, living with intention and foresight. You have proactively dismantled the very scenario you feared most, not by putting up a defense, but by building a foundation of undeniable competence. Your independence is no longer a point of pride to be defended, but a simple, observable fact, respected by all. This journey has redefined what it means to leave a legacy. You once believed your legacy was contained in boxes, the inherited china, the albums of fading photographs, the heirlooms you kept out of obligation. Now you understand that the most valuable inheritance you can leave is not your stuff, but your story. It is the story of a woman who chose to face her past with courage, to make difficult decisions with clarity, and to design her future with intention. The true legacy is the peace of mind you are giving your children. They will not be burdened with the overwhelming task of sorting through a lifetime of accumulated chaos during a period of grief. Instead, they will find a curated collection of meaningful memories and the clear, powerful example of how to age with dignity, agency, and grace. This is a legacy of love, not of burden. It is a final, profound act of care. With the constant, low-grade hum of mental noise finally silenced, you are left with something you haven't experienced in years: space. Not just physical space, but mental and emotional space. The energy you once spent ignoring, managing, and feeling guilty about the clutter is now yours to reinvest. For the first time, you find yourself thinking about the future not as a series of potential problems to be managed, but as a landscape of opportunities to be explored. The question is no longer, how will I ever deal with all this? But rather, what do I want to do next? This is the ultimate freedom. It is the liberation from the weight of the past and the anxiety for the future, allowing you to fully inhabit the present. Decluttering was never about creating an empty house. It was about creating a full life, one where you have the clarity and capacity to write the next chapter exactly as you wish. And so, you sit in your calm, light-filled living room, a cup of tea warming your hands. The silence is peaceful. The air is still. This is the feeling of a promise kept to yourself. It is the tangible result of choosing foresight over fear, action over apathy. This is not an ending. It is the setting for a new beginning. For anyone watching this, know that this piece is available to you. The window of opportunity to act with your full strength and clarity is now. The process is not about wrestling with the past, but about protecting your future. It is about making a definitive choice that the rest of your life will be defined by freedom, dignity, and independence. Your story is not over. You are still the one holding the pen. It is time to turn the page.